Welcome to the Parkinson Solutions Summit. I'm Dr. Kernnith Sharlin, your host, and today I am very excited to introduce to you Nancy Bogart. Now, Nancy Bogart is the CEO and founder of Jordan Essentials. She's going to tell you all about her company, but they have wonderful products that they provide to the consumer with an emphasis on clean and environmentally friendly, both in terms of what surrounds us and what we put in and on our bodies. And this is so important to folks with Parkinson's disease. I probably have mentioned in previous interviews and the many talks that while Alzheimer's is the most common by far neurodegenerative disorder, the rate of rise of Parkinson's disease really far exceeds that of Alzheimer's disease. The new cases are climbing. And why is that? Well, a big reason we think has to do with our environment. And what better place to start thinking about an environment than ourselves and what we put in and on our bodies and in our house every day that we live in and on, if you will. So without further ado, Nancy Bogart, welcome to the Parkinson Solutions Summit.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor.
Nancy, you've been doing this 23 years, I read. You started your company 23 years ago, and you've built your company into a multi-million-dollar business. You're very, very successful at what you do. Can you tell me a little bit about how the journey started and, why you even got interested in this in the first place, and then sort of what it's been like? What's the trajectory?
So I was a young mom. I had 3 little boys at home, and it was probably about time to go back to work. And I just didn't want to let go of that family value, that I needed to have that balance. My background was actually in food science and catering and recipe creation. And I thought surely I could do something with non-perishables. And so I started making products, and I invented a solid bar of lotion. So little did I know that that little bar of lotion, because it was made with natural waxes and oils, and people started loving it. We've hand poured over 5 million bars here in Nixa. That would be the beginning of this movement for other families and people. And then the knowledge that I started to gain began to snowball. It's like it was just, I don't like to say an onion because it doesn't smell very good. I'm in the fragrance business, but it was like this flower that just kept blooming. But you go deeper into it and you start to learn so many things. And I started to really study, just like I did food science, about the ingredients we were putting onto our bodies. And it became very clear to us about 5 years in of the 23 years that I wanted to start to change things from smell good, to really making a difference. And that's when things changed. So yes, we really started out very much in my kitchen, mixing things up to our factory we have today.
I'm curious, even before we talk about sort of the products that are part of the Jordan Essentials line, what did you discover about what was already out there? What did you learn about the ingredients and how things were being promoted and from a kind of a consumer health perspective?
Well, I remember in school doing a lot about organic chemistry and biology and, all the things you learn. And when I was putting that into place with my skincare products, when I started to do industrial, I started to learn so much about chemicals they were putting to our products, and that women could put on over 100 chemicals in a day, just doing our hair, doing our makeup, skincare, moisturizing, and then we're responsible for our families. And so then it became so much more than just selling some soaps, lotion bars, some cute things. I began to learn about parabens. And that was such an eye-opener for me. That was my first chemical I learned about as a preservative, that people were using parabens, which are that mimic estrogen, that we're building up inside of our bodies, and then moving into aluminum in our deodorants. I mean, it was like reading a bad novel. It was like one shocker after another. And I thought, what can I do to make a difference? Because I'm talking to everyday moms with the business model I chose. And I felt like I could make an impact in our community today. And then I became quite passionate about it. And I think that's why we're so successful, because it resonates with everyday people.
Oh, yes, absolutely. and I'm sure you're quite familiar, probably more than I, with this term, which is generally recognized as safe.
Yes, grass.
Right. And the problem is, and again, this is all sort of word of mouth learning, but that I've been essentially told is that, first of all, that designation, which I guess has some loose regulatory structure around it, nevertheless is first of all not in the hands of the government to determine something is generally recognized as safe, but by the producer of that product. And then further complicating that picture is that, as you said, I've heard very similar statistics about how many different chemicals women sort of put on their bodies on a daily basis, from getting in the shower and using shampoos with 25, 30 different compounds, to then perfumes and makeup and underarm deodorant and so forth. But no one really knows what the combinations of these products actually even do. So certainly very important. And you brought up the issue even of the estrogen, or the parabens having sort of an estrogen mimicking effect. And we've certainly seen changes in our ecosystem, not only with, say, men with low testosterone, or this has nothing to do necessarily with personal care products, but there's the famous ecological disaster of the feminization of the frogs as a result of I think it was pesticide. So, these are very big realities, and we certainly see this in the clinic, for example, where with Parkinson's disease, it's well recognized that heralding the onset of Parkinson's disease is an abrupt drop in testosterone in many cases. So we do have to think about the impact of these compounds on sex hormones, among other things. But I'm curious, so it started with essentially soap, and what has it kind of morphed into? What does Jordan Essentials look like today?
That's where I think it got really interesting, because it's absolutely my passion. So we decided to use the best and purest, most amazing ingredients, and I love essential oils. And not everybody does, because they're like, it's over commercialized, over marketed. But really, I think God put them on earth for like a reason. And doing my NAHA certification, the compounds are so beautiful. So we get pesticide free essential oils to blend into our products and have a purposeful application, because you want to make something also affordable. Remember, I want to help people be able to use these every day. My mission was to help people infuse really healthy ingredients. But there was a day that came that we started looking into magnesium. That was a game changer for us. And so our magnesium lotion, and some of them are infused with some essential oils, and some are just unscented, which a lot of people like. And this was a big connection too with Parkinson's, is we have so many family members on staff because of the muscle. It works so well with the muscle. So now we're not just using essential oils and botanicals, we're using a mineral like magnesium in our lotion. We can come back to that, but we also do a natural recyclable glass container for our cleaners and for our household cleaners that are reusable, that use essential oils and a organic alcohol in it. So it's going to kill everything. It's really great. It's super affordable. And so it's taking that chemical load out of people's homes, to just their hand soap that they use at the sink. So where my husband, who I work with sometimes, he's like, you have so many SKU count. There's so many items. And I'm like, I know, but people need to come to us. I used to say we're the trusted name in family. If they're going to trust me, and I have 4 kids, how are we going to use and feel good about it and provide something for families? So it's really morphed into this whole thing about how do we support families with the products they're putting on their skin, and then educating them so it's not complicated. It's super easy. We blend things together for them. We keep it affordable, and it's something that you're going to get like, oh, I've got a burn. Oh, mom, grab the skin relief. My kids always just say, I need some skin relief. They never say, they need, whatever from the drugstore. It's got green tea, aloe, chamomile, seaweed, and a shea butter base. And you put that on a sunburn, you put it on a burn, it becomes, the solution. We just want to have solutions. So I changed from Bubbles, Bunnies, Bath and Body to skincare solutions that families could use and trust that would help support healthy lifestyles.
Wow. And you said something that really, really perked my interest, which is that you have been able to get essential oils that are pesticide free. And it never occurred to me that would even be a consideration, but there's such a strong relationship between pesticide exposure and the risk of Parkinson's. How, maybe you don't know, but how common is this, that products that we could be putting on or in our bodies or, in our homes may contain trace pesticides?
Yeah, because like earlier said, it may not connect, but it really does, because a lot of our products are plant-based. So think about if we're going to use an orange essential oil, it came from a tree, probably from Italy or California. And it depends on where it came from as the tree as it was grown and how they use either natural insects or they're going to use a pesticide. And the more commercialized it is, then the more overfarmed it is. And so you get your oil and they're trying to make as much as they can, as quickly as they can, but you can do that with natural pesticide free. So we've always had pesticide free. We do COAs, certificates of authenticity on our products and our oils. All of our oils are non-GMO. So I feel like I can just take that on for our customers, even if they don't know or don't care. I
Right.
know, I care that we would find our raw materials and products. So my son, who's 27, is now our plant manager, and he's taken that on. And we have our standard, we call it, the gold Nancy standard seal of ingredients and our no list and what we will allow and what won't allow. And during the pandemic, it was really interesting because we didn't have a supply chain problem because we've built such great relationships over 23 years, especially the
Wow.
last 10 years. So our suppliers were really loyal to us because we've been loyal to them. And so then we've just seen a lot of growth because we took our business online, where mostly we've been in homes and word of mouth. And but the last 3 years, going on 4 years, have been explosive. But it
Wow.
makes me feel very good.
Blessing.
I don't know how other companies do it, that they put some of these things out, but I feel our products are superb.
Do products, not necessarily, yours, of course, I'm sure you do some testing, but I mean, do products get tested for pesticide levels? Is there any independent third party testing agency or?
There are, and you want to
No.
look for ingredients that are that come from sources. So I let the source do my testing with third party, and I bring in the information with it, and then we blend it once we get it into house. And then we stabilize and pH and the different things for our final batches.
So big picture, Jordan Essentials, you have some different major product lines. We've talked about there's cleaning products for your home, correct? And then there's personal care products, and then there are supplements. What is the general framework?
So I'll use a little visual. So we have our stick sprays and rollers. We call these our solutions. I like a few visuals. So these are your sleep solutions, which I think is so important for everybody. We could probably do another half an hour just on sleep. So we blend our essential oils into witch hazel base or grapeseed oil or beeswax base for application. And so all of our solutions go into one category, and they also go with our magnesium lotion as a solution. So those will go into one category. And then we have our bath and body products, like you would think of, like soaps, deodorants, lotions that are going to have, that people are going to pick up anyway at the store, but we want them to pick up ours as we go. And then we have the cleaning, but then we also go into skincare. And I left them out there with the team up front, but we do Calm Balm, which is a night cream with ylang ylang. So it's going to balance hormones as you sleep. We have a charcoal mask because women, that's where they're getting a lot of chemicals in their face. So between the stick sprays and solutions, the bath and body, the face care, and then I have a makeup line too, because I didn't want to carry makeup, but man, that's where the sneakers come in. So we have a shea butter lipstick. We have, really clean, pure powdered mineral based makeups, a BB foundation that has magnesium and heliochrysum in it. So where we're going to do anti-aging without the chemicals, we're going to do it naturally. And we're
Wow.
going to blend those in So women still feel beautiful as they want to, from like a tint all the way to a heavier foundation. You don't have to give things up to be the best healthy version of yourself. And so that was my personal philosophy, because I didn't want to give it all up either, but I didn't want
Mhm.
to. I wanted to be sure that everything we were putting onto our skin that we know goes into our bloodstream within like about 26 seconds, to be really good and healthy. So that's kind of how we
Yeah.
do it, is the stick spray solutions, bath and body care, the face care, which is just so fun, and then the makeup.
That's such a good point about the skin. It's said that the skin is the largest organ in the body, really, and we do absorb chemicals. There are some drugs that are prescribed, transdermal estrogen, for example. So we do absorb drugs and hormones through the skin. There are some specific Parkinson's drugs, the reticotine or Nupro patch, as an example. So just to emphasize it, if you get something on your skin, it's going to find its way into your body. Now, it turns out that statistically, they're about 1.5. The ratio of women to men is that in Parkinson's is about there's a male predominance. It's about a 1 to 1.5 ratio of women to men. But men should not say, well, I don't put on a lot of, it's not a thing of mine personally to use. I don't think of myself as putting on makeup, but in reality, I kind of do. I mean, and I kind of want to walk through as a sort of, I'm a guy. Uh, I know Nancy's husband, and he's a kind of a guy's guy. So us guys, we do use personal care products, right? So when I get in my shower, I'm going to use a shampoo and conditioner, right? And is it a natural? Is it something that doesn't contain pesticides or estrogen mimics and things like that? I'm going to put underarm deodorant on. I might spray myself with a little bit of cologne. One of the things that I personally discovered several years ago, I don't use a lot of, like mousse or other hair kind of care products, but my hair could got to get frizzy and stand up on end, what little I have left. And I was traveling with my wife one time, and I said, oh my gosh, I left this balm or whatever at home. I don't have anything. And she said, well, try this. And it was just actually a little bottle of an essential oil. It was a tea tree oil. It was meant for around the eyes. I put just a dot on my palm like this, and I could put it on my hair and comb my hair, and it returned some moisture to my hair. So point being is that actually I do put a lot of products on my body. And just wondering, it sounds like well, there might be more women that find their way to Jordan Essentials. There's definitely a role for men as well.
When we purchase our products for our families, I mean, women are the major purchasers. So as an example, I have 3 sons. So we do a beard balm, because we do put some tea tree in there because they'll harbor bacteria in their beards. And so they're washing their beards with these shampoos and chemicals. And so the beard balm helps with that. My favorite product for men is probably the Dead Sea salt. And so my husband did run 50 miles for his 50th birthday. So crazy, right? But this is because men have larger muscle tissues and they do work out, their muscle fibers are different. And so they're going to be more likely to grab, oh, I want to put some of that, freezy stuff, or, an ache or a pain. So soaking in a Dead Sea salt soak, we don't call it a bubble bath or anything in our house, but having a Dead Sea salt, this is actually from the Dead Sea. We want to have solutions for them. Men love our lotion bar. Their fingers tend to crack in the wintertime. I used to have these guys, because my husband's in the trades, they would use super glue to glue their fingers closed. So not only for comfort, but also because they're much more likely to walk through the checkout stand and grab something, not tell anybody. But the deodorant that they're putting on, we have a good natural essential oil deodorant spray. Men tend to be hairier. They don't like to use as much lotion. But especially if people have Parkinson's, having a soak or having the lotion and all the muscle, it's all about the muscle and the relaxation from tension from, migraines or headaches or just the everyday life that men tend to be a lot more physical too. inside of a day, and what they're using to solve those problems. Are they popping ibuprofen instead of a personal care product? They may not be thinking that solution. Now, my guys have grown up that way. So they might come in my office because my sons work with me, and they're like, "Hey, I've got a bad headache. Do you have that headache stick?" And then they'll use the headache stick as a solution instead of popping all the ibuprofen and going through their gut.
Wow. Now, if I want to access Jordan Essential products, how do I do that?
Well, you will have your own link. So we'll have it
Okay.
available, because we do. It's so funny how I chose how to do this. So I had a big buyer box store. I've had franchises. I've had people try to buy our company for years. Now my children work with me, and we have a beautiful factory. We employ a lot of people. We have a nice, my daughter's special needs. We employ a lot of special needs people. I just can't imagine selling out my family there. So what we did was we didn't want to put in a store. We actually only sell through independent distributors. So people decide, I love this product. And so we're going to have a special link for you. And so it'll come back into the clinic and support the services here. So that's how we're going to put that together. So I think Kaylee's got that for us. And so I wanted to support people who are like me, who are on the same mission. And we just link arms and partner with people. And so there's lots of opportunities for that. And a lot of information on our website at jordanessentials.com.
That's great. Now, we talked a lot about what we might be putting in or on our bodies. You also have some products for the home itself?
I do. And so we do for our pets, because, I don't think people realize like your pet is, they're in your bed, they're around your home. And I switched over to our natural pet products. And we had pets, in the early days, and they would, pass away awfully young. And so I think changing over your pet
Mm,
care helps as well. But our home product, we do have because I think I'm really big about the environment too. So it's just
mm.
I'm just bent that way. I'm recycling. So you get a glass, and then you get just our refill that are concentrate, that are essential oils. So I'm really big on finding a solution. You don't have to do all this. You just squeeze it in here, add the water, and you're done. And 80% of our products are less than $30. I think that's important too. When people talk about high quality products, but we're also based in Nixa, Missouri. And I think we just pass that on to everyone. So,
Mm.
but you can also use the products for diffusers, like our lavender oils, orange oils. You can mix them. You can make your own, a cleaning paste from our resistance. There's so many different ways to use them around your home to really lessen that burden in your body. We have our natural deodorant. Thought I brought that in here. Oh, I did. And then it's called Spritz Your Pits, but it's a natural deodorant that you can also use to deodorize your pet containers, stinky feet, tennis shoes, all around the house. We have a sheet on
Mm.
30 ways to use resistance in your Spritz Your
Wow.
Pits, or have that available. So I'm really big on, like, there's 10 ways to use this and 20 ways, because if you're going to buy something, let's make it work. I don't want it to sit in a drawer someplace. And so we use it all over the house.
Wow, that's terrific. And if I needed some guidance to navigate all the different products you have, what would I turn to? What are the resources for that? You've mentioned blogs, I think.
Yes, we do. We have a really great, I just actually blogged early this morning on lavender oil. We have a Facebook page that has a community class, and we'll do between 1 and 4 a month. And you can go back in there. I did one on our face care and how to age naturally. We have one that we did on our home healthy care. We have another NAHA certified aromatherapist on staff who did essential oil classes. We also on our website have a contact us. I have a fantastic team, they've been with me for years and years and years. So we have a lot of resources, and we have people ask us questions all day long. We love it, and happy to
Oh,
help people find solutions that meet their everyday needs. So Facebook is a good place. On Jordan Essentials is the main page right there, and you can even hit just message and say, hey, I saw Nancy and had a
yeah.
question for her. And I get all of those. I read all of those. I
Wow.
don't sleep. I love to work. It has been a joy. It's been a joy in my life for 23 years. I'm looking forward to many more.
And you can follow Jordan Essentials on Facebook, and then I'm sure get notified when things come up, when good opportunities are there.
Yeah, I love a deal. Like, you do 3 sticks, you get $1 for each stick. We do monthly specials all the time. You can sign up for our newsletter. If you go to our website, it'll pop up, and then we'll link it right back in here to the Sharlin Clinic for you as well.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, you are located in Nixa, Missouri. but you reach the world. I mean, if we will have people in the Parkinson Solution Summit who are, watching from Great Britain, or maybe they happen to be, somewhere in South America or something like that. You ship all around the world?
Not yet. I'm not licensed to. So we do some gifts. I've gifted
Mhm.
quite a few people in Australia and different countries
Mhm.
the day that we're ready to go in. So if they'd like to have some samples, I'd be happy to send those. But not ready to branch outside the United States, outside of NICSA quite yet. But yeah, we ship all across the United States and all U.S. territories: Guam, Puerto Rico,
Okay.
St. Thomas, Alaska, Hawaii. So we do ship all over the United States out of our little haven here in NICSA.
Wow. Are we going to Canada or Mexico? Just curious.
Yeah, it's in our 5-year plan. We'll see how it goes, but definitely Canada. They're knocking on our door, and a lot of my northern state independent consultants have family, and they're like, "When are we going to sell? When are we going to sell?" So we've got a lot of that going on. So we'll have to see when that's going to happen.
Well, folks, it's been a real pleasure to learn about Jordan Essentials with CEO and founder Nancy Bogart. I definitely encourage you to check out their website at jordanessentials.com. Go to the Facebook page, follow them. I don't know if you're on formerly Twitter, now known as X, but all the
Brand is
other
kind of fun.
platforms that are out there in social media, YouTube. But definitely, this is a great line of products for your home, for your family, for yourself. And, we need to think clean when it comes to Parkinson's disease. And I thought this was just a wonderful opportunity to learn more about how that can actually be accomplished.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed being here today.
Thank you, Nancy Bogart. We'll look forward to visiting with you again soon.
Thanks.